Hello, friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. First up, we have the movie Mortal Kombat is getting a movie sequel. I'm told there'll be different characters this time around. So I'm assuming they'll still have some of the same ones that didn't, die in the first movie's game. Like Liu Kang. It's cool. They're bringing it back. It's not surprising.
I don't think I've seen Mortal Kombat. I guess
you did. You were the one that got me to watch it because you're like, I watched it, and you're like, it actually wasn't that bad.
That's
and I'm like,
right.
Oh.
I do remember.
Yep. So then, because of that, is when I watched it. I'm like,
okay,
I was like, oh right,
that's
it wasn't
right.
really that bad. It was way
Look at
bloody.
me not remembering that. No, it was good. Actually, it was. I do remember it now. I can see it in my head.
Okay, good. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is getting a TV series over at Disney Plus. They haven't cast anything. I'm sure they can't use the original actors because they've all aged out of the original movies.
Right.
But I remember liking those movies. I
did too.
They were entertaining, so I think that's cool. They're going to try and do a series. Hopefully they cast well and it's a good storyline. So we'll see. Hometown Saints is a new drama that has been sold to NBC from Milo Ventimiglia. I never get his name right. Anyway, so he's from This Is Us and stars as Jack. But his new show will be about a retired hockey player who struggles to figure out who he is now, of course. So I think that's cool. Everyone's getting something in the works now that the This Is Us is over. So
I do love
it's sad, but
Milo. Yeah.
So his series it's so funny because so far out of the three that have gotten him, between him, Sterling, and Justin, all three of the series is very different. So that's cool. Some variety.
I wonder if Chrissy Metz will be able to. I wonder what she'll do.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. She may just try and focus on movies. I guess we'll see what happens there. But Jason Momoa is in final negotiations to appear in Fast and the Furious number 10, folks.
Woo!
I've watched all of them, so I'm on board. And we love Jason Momoa. And apparently it is for a villain role, I have learned. So I hope it comes to fruition because, hey, that's all the more for me to keep going with these. There's supposed to be 11 in all, and they're for sure supposed to be done after number 11.
Oh, my gosh, please stop.
Right, I mean, as anyone who saw the last number 9, as I think I said when I reviewed it, it's a bit out of this world literally on some parts. I like it to be in some sort of reality, and it's got a little out of control, this last one. So let's bring it back down to earth, again, literally. And, and
I know, let's do that.
Hope for the best. Josh Duhamel has been cast in the next season of The Mighty Ducks on Disney Plus. So he is set to replace Emilio Estevez, who is not returning, supposedly due to COVID protocols. So Josh is not playing the same character. He's just going to be playing the new coach of the Mighty Ducks since Emilio's coach is departing.
So Emilio, why is he departing?
It was something about COVID protocols. I don't know if he didn't want to follow them or something else. It wasn't clear.
Huh.
So
probably didn't want to take the job.
So maybe
because it's Disney. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, it's too bad. I didn't watch the series. I just really did like the original Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, I did too. I haven't watched the series either, and I probably I
probably won't. Yes,
probably
that's
won't.
True. That's true.
And I'm so excited about the second one. Can I say it? Can I say it?
Sure,
Can I say
ahead.
it? Paramount Plus, y'all ready? Has renewed Mayor of Kingstown. I'm so excited for their second season, and I saw this last night, so I was going to text you. But I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't believe that it took this long, but it is right up there with Yellowstone. I mean, it's as popular as Yellowstone, so.
That's true.
I love it. I really dig it, and so Jeremy Renner is, I guess, signed on. So yeah, Yay.
That's
okay,
cool.
Continue.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Tom Ellis from Lucifer has joined Sterling K. Brown's series, speaking of This Is Us, new series for Hulu that is called Washington Black. So I really, as you guys know, I loved Lucifer on Netflix. So I'm excited he's joining Sterling K. Brown's new series. Looking forward to that. Jeffrey Rush is set to star in the Groucho Marx biopic called Raised Eyebrows, such a clever name, which will
Oh.
focus on his life between 1973 and 1977. That's a comedian. I mean, I guess it's a lot of my time frame because I wasn't born until 78, but I'm not really into Groucho Marx. I've only seen little bits here and there of things he ever did back in the day. But Jeffrey Rush, for some reason I'm drawing a blank on everything he's been in, but he's been in so many movies, I can see him doing him.
Oh, yeah.
Like looking like him.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be a very good likeness.
I think so too.
And then finally, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is set to play Jim Jones in a movie called White Knight. This is the thriller about the cult leader. And also Chloe Grace Moretz has been cast in the movie and will play survivor Deborah Layton. Now, this is a different movie than what we discussed months back that Leonardo DiCaprio is starring in also as Jim Jones.
Can they not split up
I know, it does seem like a lot
these
of times
cult leaders? Because there are a lot of them.
I feel like a lot of the times when these things happen about true people, there's always a competing movie. Like there always has to be two. Why does it have to be two?
I know.
It's like
I know, exactly. We're just, share the wealth there. There's lots of crazy people they can do.
That's true. I buy Leonardo DiCaprio more as Jim Jones than Joseph. I love you, Joseph, but
And Joseph Gordon is
so he rose to fame in Third Rock from the Sun when he was younger, and then since then he's actually in a show on HBO Max coming out called Supercharged about what was the founder of what's that app called? I'm drawing a blank.
That's a good question.
Right?
I don't know.
Anyway, he was in that Project Power movie that I talked about back in 2020 with Jamie Foxx. If you guys had ever watched that. But, gosh, he's done so many things. He did the funniest movie called Don Juan. Back in the Sundance. It was a Sundance movie I saw years and years ago. And it was he was like this, Romeo that was like all over everybody, and like Scarlett Johansson ended up being like his kryptonite.
Oh.
So he's a good actor. 500 Days of Summer. That was another Sundance hit that ended up being more widely recognized in awards and stuff. But anyway, yes, I think it's going to be interesting to see. I don't buy him in that, but you never know. I guess we'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
Movies and TV shows out this week. First up, we have Moonfall. This is in theaters with Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, Donald Sutherland, and John Bradley. So the world stands on the brink of annihilation when a mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit and sends it hurtling toward a collision course with Earth. With only weeks before impact, NASA executive Joe Fowler, teams up with a man from her past and a conspiracy theorist for an impossible mission into space to save humanity. You know what's so funny? When I first saw the trailer for this, it looked more dramatic than I think the movie is supposed to be.
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer, it was like more humorous. Even though I don't think it's supposed to be like a comedy, but
right.
I think they were mainly showing like the humorous like repartee between the leads, and I was like, well, it was just different to me.
Huh.
It
I
was
know.
getting different, I guess you could say.
When I first saw it, I thought it was very dramatic and like kind of a world-ending type of cataclysmic type of event movie, and
Which I think it's supposed to be, but at the same time, it's just not. It doesn't feel as intense as maybe like you think it was going to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do think it looks interesting. I mean, it'd be one that I just would wait and see when I can see it at home.
Right.
But I do love Halle Berry.
Yeah,
so.
I do too, and she hasn't been in something for a while. So.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
and I feel like
agree.
Patrick Wilson was probably less than one of the Conjuring movies, so it's been a while for him to do something. Not as long as her, but still. Yeah. Then, we have Jackass Forever.
I can't believe this is coming back.
This is in theaters and stars, of course, Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and Jason Acuna. I can't. Anyway, so we're celebrating the joy of perfectly executed shot to the groin as the gang return for another round of hilarious, wildly absurd, and often dangerous displays of stunts and comedy, along with various celebrities that will join them along the way.
Wow, woo, can't wait for that. That's
right. I mean, anyone out there who sees this, you just let us know how you like this. I admit I'd seen episodes back in the day here and there of Jackass, but I wasn't like a fan where
I gotta wait. I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, they're just.
I have a friend who says she's being forced by her boyfriend to see this, so I guess I will hear from her what she thought. Maybe she'll end up like really liking it just because. I guess we'll see. Anyway, this is funny. It's like y'all are in your 40s mid to late 40s, just like me. It's like, you guys should not be doing these stunts. Well, that's just me.
Well,
It's
and
just-
I don't think they're going to bounce back quite as easily.
right? It's
know?
like you're going to need multiple shots in your arm of pain medicine. But God,
Okay,
crazy
well,
people.
it'll be interesting.
Right? Then we have The Black Phone. This is in theaters and stars Ethan Hawke and Jeremy Davies. So Finney Shaw is a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who's being held in a soundproof basement by a sadistic masked killer. When a disconnected phone on the wall starts to ring, he soon discovers that he can hear the voices of the murderer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. Now this, again, this was a good fake out, and this, I guess, is a good thing about, like, you saw one thing and then you realize this movie is completely different than you were thinking. Because when we first reviewed the trailer, I had no idea that it was going to take on a supernatural element, but apparently it is.
Yeah,
So that's very
I know, it
interesting.
looked good to me, so
Yeah,
I think I'm down.
I thought it was going to be a straight, we're trying to find a kidnapped victim, and, but obviously now there's a little twist.
Well, and all these weird things come out at Valentine's because we like murder mysteries. Like Silence of the Lambs came out. When it first came out, it came out on Valentine's. How do I know? I was there. I watched it on Valentine's.
So it was a date.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah.
Nice.
Loved
That's
it.
funny. Reacher is a new series on Amazon and stars Alan Richardson, Willa Fitzgerald, and Kristen Cruick from Smallville. So Jack Reacher, a veteran military police investigator, has recently entered civilian life when he is falsely accused of murder. These are based on the Jack Reacher books. It is not a continuation of the movies Tom Cruise was in. It's just a whole different. It's the same concept, but I mean, it's not like it's going to like whatever the movies left off on. It's not continuing from there. Let's just start.
So
from
it's just
scratch.
a whole.
Let's just start from scratch with the books, and it's just based off the books, from the get go. So,
Oh, how about that? Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
From what I've heard, since I never read the books, Alan Richardson, sorry, I'm going to say Richardson so bad. Richardson, who's playing Reacher, he resembles more so what the character was supposed to look like. I just remember back when the first Jack Reacher movie with Tom Cruise came out, it was such a hoopla because one, he wasn't as tall as the character was supposed to be, and he wasn't blonde like the character was supposed to be.
But he did some great action.
But he did. He did good. But I can see when you've read something and you expect to see something in your mind, and you're like, that's not at all.
Yeah,
how you should
Tom
look.
Cruise is not
I
what I
get
had
it.
in mind.
I get it. It can take you out. So hopefully this
And-
will please book fans.
Let's see, and Alan Richardson.
The only other thing I've ever seen him in was, weirdly enough, Smallville. Back in the day, the TV series. He played Aquaman. So that was before the Jason Momoa era, people. He played Aquaman in the TV series. So,
Yeah, see, we're going to have to look him up.
So, yeah, I know. I'm sure he's in other things. I just know from my personal, that's what I've seen him in. So.
Alrighty then.
Suspicion is another new series. This will be on Apple TV and stars Uma Thurman, Elizabeth Henstridge, and Elias Gable. So when the son of a prominent American businesswoman is kidnapped from a New York hotel, the eye of suspicion quickly falls on four seemingly ordinary British citizens who were at the hotel on the night in question. This show is just right up my alley with the mystery. I watched the trailer on this and I was already way interested. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where you're just like, are they all connected? Are they not? Why are they all the suspects? Just because, anyway. And we haven't seen Uma Thurman in anything in a while.
No, we
and she
haven't.
is playing the businesswoman.
She and Ethan Hawke still together?
Oh, no, they got divorced years ago.
Right. I'm just a little slow. I thought so, but I couldn't remember.
Oh, no
and look
problem.
at him. He's in a new movie, too.
Right?
So,
Oh, that is funny how they're all coming out and things at the same time. Anyway. Then we have Pam and Tommy.
oh, my gosh. I saw this trailer last night, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, you hadn't seen it yet?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just saw I can't even remember what I was watching. But I said, are you kidding me? They are going to make this into is it a movie or a
No,
docuseries?
it's just a series.
Oh, for the love. Anyway, continue.
So this series is on Hulu and stars Sebastian Stan as Tommy, Lily James as Pamela Anderson, and Seth Rogen as the gentleman who releases the sex tape. That was from their honeymoon and leaked to the public. I'm actually interested in seeing this. In real time when it was happening, I remember thinking this is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I actually did feel bad for them for a minute, and then I thought, well, why did you tape yourself? That was stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And this obviously was before internet, so you had to. It was VHS tape.
gosh.
that someone distributed. Anyway, I thought the series looked good and it looked fun. It looks like they're taking, like, again, a comedic route in a way of a lot of it. So I'm with it. I love Sebastian Stan. Love him.
Yep. And what was he in?
So he was Bucky Barnes in all of the Avengers, as well as the
Oh,
Captain
okay.
America. He was just recently in the movie I watched, the 355. Women in my age group will remember him also from that witch movie, The Covenant. Love that.
Oh.
I've liked this guy for a very long time. He's a very good actor. And
So you're going to be
cute.
right there watching that then, I'm assuming.
You know, him looking like Tommy Lee is a little bit of a turnoff, but hey, I do like the actor. I do like the actors, and this actually does look a little entertaining, so I'll probably check it out.
All right, maybe I'll wait to hear your see how the
Right.
first episode goes, and then I'll decide.
Right, because it will just be released weekly because it is Hulu, people. So that's the only thing. I may wait till there's at least 3 out before I
Right,
venture.
do a little binge.
Then we have Raising Dion. This is season 2 on Netflix and stars Alicia Wainwright, Jason Ritter, and Michael B. Jordan, who again is also a producer of this series. So in the new season, Dion will be getting used to his powers and trying to find a way to bring his dad home for good, who is played by Michael B. Jordan. Again, this was one I watched during 2020 and late into the pandemic, and it was just very cute. I liked it. It actually had a serious tone. I thought it might be too cheesy. But and it is based off a comic book, as I understand it. Michael B. Jordan is the one that brought it to Netflix to try and make a series. So,
Oh, okay.
I like it. It's good. Jason Ritter, who honestly I never really paid attention to before, he was really good in the series. So
Is he the son of?
He is.
He is. Okay.
He is. It's good. It's a good show. And he's actually dating Melanie Linsky from Yellow Jackets. I learned last
Really?
week. I was like, oh, they've been a couple for a while, so I was like, okay, that's
Okay.
cool. Murderville is a new series on Netflix and stars Will Arnett. So this is an improvised comedy with different celebrities in each episode. So Will Arnett is playing this guy named Terry Seattle, and so each week his celebrity partner have to improvise their way through a scripted murder investigation without an actual script. So
Oh my gosh.
when I was watching the trailer, I was like, huh, it is just interesting. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, a random celebrity gets started, and they're just kind of like, they place them in these situations, they just kind of have to improvise what they say and do in the situation.
That sounds
So,
funny.
Yeah, it does, think of it, like you're going to a murder mystery dinner, basically, each week with a different, and that's what they're trying to, they're doing. So it does look interesting. I may check, it's going to be further down the list, but I may check that out because it looks interesting. And then finally, we have Sweet Magnolia Season 2. As y'all know, this was my Hallmark series of 2020.
I forgot about that.
So it stars returning Joanna Swisher, Heather Headley, and Brooke Elliott. So this season is supposed to pick up right where they left off. So it will address the car accident, Dana Sue's ex-husband coming to town last minute, and Maddie and Cal's relationship after they had this big fight. And then Helen, whose boyfriend just left her, she is now in a burgeoning relationship with Eric, who happens to be Dana Sue's chef at her restaurant. So, like I said, it is very Hallmarky, but it's so cute. I just love it. I've already heard that it's getting a little bit, even though it hasn't premiered yet till Friday, getting a little bit of backlash because they brought Jamie Lynn Spears back, and because she's in this fight with her sister Brittany, it's like, why is she in the show? But you guys, she actually is if you guys have never watched it, stop it. She's very good in Sweet Magnolias. I was pleasantly surprised. She is a good actress. It's like you need to leave her personal issues with her family out of the TV show.
Exactly,
It
I
has nothing
agree.
to do with it.
I
So,
agree.
It's
She still has to make a living.
Right, she does. She really
It's
does.
not like Brittany is as pure as the driven snow.
Right? It's just like, yeah. Anyway, if you guys haven't given it a chance, you really should, because everyone in it is great.
All right.
So what we have been watching this week. So for me, I started watching The Cleaning Lady, which is a series on Fox, and stars Elodie Young, who, if you guys had ever seen the show Daredevil, that's what I had most remember seeing her in. And this is quite a departure from that role. She's playing a timid, not timid. She comes across timid, but you can tell she has a strong backbone. She is a doctor from Cambodia who is in Las Vegas to try and get help for her son who has immune deficiencies. And unfortunately, she gets drawn into a world where she gets to clean up after these crimes that keep being committed by this, Armenian mob family, unfortunately. So I was surprised how much I liked it. I liked it, but it's really good. So far I've liked the series. I've watched the first 3 episodes.
Oh.
And I will continue to watch. So I
All
definitely
right.
recommend it. And then I also went ahead and finished up with Our Kind of People. I know when this first premiered this season, I was on the fence because it started off badly to me and it wasn't getting any better. And so honestly, I stopped for a bit, gave myself a break. But thankfully, in the back half, they pulled it out. This is the series that stars Yaya DaCosta, formerly of Chicago Med. And she learns, she has this, she learns who her dad is, and she goes to confront him, and just kind of now she integrates more with the family. So
I've wanted to see that.
It ended up being really good. I hope it gets renewed. They haven't said yet, but this is on a regular station, so we probably won't learn honestly until in the spring or even summer before if it ever got renewed. So of course it ended on a cliffhanger, so I'm hoping it did get renewed. So anyway, I'm just here to say give it a chance. It unfortunately doesn't start off the greatest, but it does get better. I'd say about episode 4 or 5 is when the storyline makes more sense. Originally it was a little too soap opera-y and some things didn't honestly make sense. But it ends up pulling it out in the end. So that's the important thing.
Well, that is the important
Yay.
thing. It leaves you with a good feeling.
Right? And ladies, if it's just because you need someone to look at, remember Morris Chestnut's also in it. And he still looks good as he's aging. Only the rest of us were.
Right? I know that feeling.
Lucky. And then finally, I watched this movie on Netflix called Blood Red Sky. Had no intention of watching it. It was one of those things I was flipping through. And I was like, what? And so... Anyway, this is crazy. This was like Passenger 57 with vampires. If y'all remember that very old school Wesley Snipes movie.
Yes.
So, yes, we have hijackers on a plane.
Oh,
then
no.
we have a lady and her son. They're trying to get to New York so she can get a treatment for her disease, which ends up being that she is a vampire. And supposedly someone in New York has a cure for her where she won't be this person anymore. And her son's well aware. He's been aware since he was a baby because that's when she got bit, exactly what she is. And she's been taking this medicine which suppresses her urges for the most part at night. But of course it gets hijacked and chaos reigns. But it was really entertaining. I was surprised. There's no one in it that's well known. I recognize none of the actors. I mean, I think this was a movie, if I was reading the subtitles, out of not out of, I forgot what country it was out of, but anyway. So it wasn't dubbed or anything like that, but like I said, it wasn't an English production. But I really enjoyed it. I think it was just, the concept was just so out of like, what? Like, okay. Let's hijack it, but their downfall is there's a vampire on board. So, but it was like gritty. It's not like cheesy. It was like gritty, serious. It was very gory. Oh my Lord.
Oh, wow.
And some other things are happening, twists in there that, I won't give away here if you guys ever want to watch it. But hey, it will be a quick 2-hour viewing if you guys choose to watch it. I think you'd enjoy it. It's a good little action movie.
Wow, look at you.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And I will say, she's going to talk about it, but I did end up watching the first episode from the series you're about to talk about.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, great. I can't wait to hear about it. Okay, so what I watched this week is actually several things. I'm really proud of myself. The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, which is a parody.
You say that 5 times fast.
But I tell you what, I enjoyed this series. They were only 30-minute episodes, or maybe a tad bit longer, but they went quickly, and I binge watched it over a night and the next morning. Mm-hmm. And it is a real, in my opinion, I thought it was so well done because it sucked me right in, and of course there's some funniness in it, mm-hmm. But I was like totally intrigued, and finding out who the killer is just I didn't see it coming, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
What did you think of your first episode?
I mean, it didn't completely draw me in from watching the first episode, but I was interested. I feel like maybe I just wasn't completely getting it, but there were parts I was like, oh, it made me like smile, not laugh, but just smile.
Right.
Like her voiceovers, especially when it started, and I was like, and I was asking myself, why is she talking in a British accent? And then she mentions it. She's like, why am I talking in a British? I was like, oh.
See, I thought that was funny.
I was like,
That's why her husband left her. Because she talks a British accent sometimes.
Anyway, so I will keep going.
Yes, please
it just
keep
didn't draw me
going.
as quickly as I was hoping
Yeah.
it would, like you did. So,
Yeah,
but
wait till you get to the second episode, I think.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
anyway, and then another good one that I don't know that a lot of people have seen, maybe they have, or just so you know that the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window is on Netflix. So, and then The Eyes of Tammy Faye, that is on Apple, I do believe.
Oh, right. That's which one.
Anyway, it's about Tammy Faye Baker and what she went through with Jim Baker, and their story. And Jessica Chastain plays Tammy Faye. She did a phenomenal job. I don't think she was ever nominated.
At least she was nominated for Golden Globe or SAG Award. The
Yeah,
Oscars haven't been announced yet, so we'll see.
she did such a great job, and they even made her cheeks. You know, there was some, not implants, but some, what do you call them? Prosthetics used to make her look very plump right here. Because she had kind of a square face. But anyway, oh my gosh, it was heartbreaking, I mean, they really were some true Christian believers. But, success and money get a hold of you, and then bam. You're a mess. Anyway, I definitely recommend it. So if you have Apple, give it a whirl. Watch it. I thought it was done really well. And again, Jessica Chastain was amazing. So anyway, and then I watched, this is kind of crazy. I just found out about this one. It's called Secrets of Playboy. And it's a docuseries on A&E. And it's about, the behind the scenes of the Playboy Mansion and what, the Hugh Hefner girls went through. Also, the bunnies that worked in his restaurants, because in 1960, his first club, not restaurants, but club, his first club opened. I mean, they were so controlled to even how they served their drinks. Because, if you bend over to serve, I don't know if it had anything to do with this because they haven't covered that yet, but it's just the way that the bunnies' uniforms fit them, and they were very busty. And so, but they literally had to turn away from the table and then do a dip. So they called it the bunny dip, and then they would serve their drinks with, their hand and the front of them.
It's so funny because that is
turned
how
away.
people do it today. But I never really thought about being a thing, but that makes sense.
And maybe it originated from that. Who knows? But because you would serve like this, but they had to turn like this. So anyway, but it's so sad and so crazy. And you would think with the Playboy image, Hugh Hefner tried to make it such a. So, I mean, it is an icon all over the world. Everyone knows what it means. He did a fantastic job, but he had some serious issues. And anyway, if you haven't watched it, it's nothing, it's done in a really great way. And they have a lot of these people from former Playmates to, people who worked as bunnies. And their experiences and things that happened to them and what happened to other girls. So it's not like, rated X or anything like that, or it's very well done, but it is very eye-opening. So I would highly recommend that if you're into docuseries. And then I got caught up on Cheer, and I'm at the episode where the whole thing falls apart for Jerry and what it is happened to him, and it's so sad. It's just very sad. And then 1883, oh my gosh, it's a good one. I'm telling you, it's not as fast paced as Yellowstone. It's very different, but it is good. I like it a lot, and it's very popular. So
good.
Anyway, so look at me go. I'm all getting all caught up.
That's right. Well, in honor of Valentine's month, day, week, year, whatever you want to say, we are going to do a little series each week, to celebrate the season of love, as I'm calling it. So we are first up this week. We're going to do our favorite Love Gone Wrong movies. So for me, La La Land with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
That's a good one.
Is one. For those who don't know, this movie was about a couple. It's a musical, but a couple who do like a meet cute, and then unfortunately they are push-pulled in different directions. They just have a lot of growing up, I guess you could say, to do. He's not where he needs to be career-wise. She's trying to get somewhere else as an actress career-wise, and it's just, a lot of push and pull between them. It's still a really good movie, but unfortunately it doesn't end, in a love story.
Right, yeah.
So,
it's so good.
Yes, but it is a really good movie. It was up for Best Picture that year that it came out, which I think was like 4 maybe years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it's a really good movie. But yes, that's one of my top 3. The next one is My Best Friend's Wedding. This starred Julia Roberts, Dermot Mulroney, Cameron Diaz, and Rupert Everett. This was actually Cameron Diaz's only second movie after The Mask.
Really. Oh, right.
This was still early. She was still like 21, I think, in this movie. Anyway,
no kidding.
Right. And so this movie, I still love it, even though I hated the ending. Again, Love Gone Wrong. So Julia Roberts, is best friends with Dermot Mulroney's character. And when he announces he's getting married and wants her to be his best man, that's when she realizes, oh my gosh, I'm losing my window to like tell him how I feel. And so she meets up with them and Cameron Diaz, who's playing the fiance, and tries her darndest to break them up and, in her way show him what he's, been missing. So it's really funny. And there are some cute romantic bits thrown in there. And again, it doesn't end, unfortunately, in a love match in the way you think, but it's still really good. Even when I watch it to this day, the ending honestly makes me cry. Just because it's just so touching. There's this part, I'm just going to say at the end, where it's their wedding reception, and like she gives the couple like her and her best friend's song. Like it can be your song. I was like, no, don't give away your song, no. And so even to this day, like when I watch, I'm like, oh my god, I just always tear up.
That was a cute show. Yeah,
it's a really cute show. And where is Rupert Everett? She played her gay best friend in that movie, and you just really didn't see him much after that.
No,
gosh, I love that character. Anyway, so that's my second choice, and then my third choice is Cruel Intentions, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Reese Witherspoon.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember back in the day when I originally saw the trailer for this. Weirdly enough, I think when we were watching, I Know You Did Last Summer, it was like me and a couple friends. We were like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. For those who don't know, this was a remake at the time of the movie Dangerous Liaisons that had starred Glenn Close and John Malkovich. So this was a younger set version, obviously, in an Ivy League high school. And so Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe were playing step siblings who always like play these little games to outmaneuver each other and trick everyone else around them for their little sport, because that's how they were. And, they make a bet to see if he can get Reese Witherspoon's character into bed. And, of course, in true fashion, he ends up falling for her, which is all right with me, because I really did like the relationship. And you guys know, if you guys don't know, that's where Ryan and Reese met, and fell in love and ended up, married after the fact. So, for a bit, anyway.
So, see, love did go right.
Right? That's true. In the real world, love did go right from the Love Gone Wrong movie. So, this is a really good show. If you guys have never seen it, please take a look. I think you would really enjoy it.
Great. Well, and I have 3. Okay. And my picks are kind of down the creepy road. Imagine that. Sleeping with the Enemy.
Ooh,
Julia Roberts and Patrick Bergin and Kevin Anderson. And I've seen this show so many times. Like, if it's on, I will watch the whole thing. Like, if I'm just flipping through the stations and it's on, I'll watch it. I've watched it so many times. And it's just crazy what someone, in her case, the lengths that she went to and the planning that it took to get away from this guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, oh my gosh. It was crazy. I loved it. I thought it was a great show. So, more happy things to watch on Valentine's. Then The Breakup. I'm there with you on The Breakup. Oh my gosh. Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. Mm-hmm. Oh, another good one. Anytime it's on, I watch it. Didn't quite. I mean, I can so identify with so many things in that, especially the scene with the lemons. And washing the dishes,
Oh,
where
yes.
she asked him to get a bunch of lemons and he got like 2.
Oh, that's right.
And she was trying to fill a pot.
Right.
That happens to me. So I know exactly what she's talking about. And the dishes, you know.
Right, yeah.
Well, nobody likes to do the dishes. Well, I know I don't want you to just want to do the dishes, but I want you to want to do the dishes, you know. It's
like, nobody wants
It's
to.
like, yeah, nobody wants to do the dishes. So it's a good one. And then the other one that I really like is What Lies Beneath, with
Oh, yes.
Harrison Ford and Michelle
Yes.
Pfeiffer. Like, who would have known? Who would have known? So for anyone who hasn't seen that one, that's a good thriller. It's a good one. So yeah, so they're my 3 picks.
Awesome picks. So, if you guys have any suggestions out there for us to watch of Love Gone Wrong movies, please drop us a line on our Instagram, or you can DM us through whatever subscription service you're using to listen to us, and let us know what we should also be watching for the season of love that we've just started.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. We sure enjoyed chatting up these awesome Valentine shows, or just what's coming up. And we had fun, and we hoped you enjoyed it as well. So please give us a review or comment. And as Rhonda said, let us know some of your picks. We'd love to watch those if we haven't already. And you can follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.